All right, Savannah, we made it.
We made it.
All right, and my guess, she got a little lost in her defense. We don't have a big sign on the building, so it's kind of hard to find us here. We're kind of just tucked away at a little hole in the wall. That's an amazing studio. But anyway, yeah, the great location. Anyway, so today's guest is Miss Marianne Ganem Poppell. Did I say that right? Poppell. Marianne Ganem Poppell. She is the president of the Savannah Master Calendar.
Yes.
And just an all-around Savannian. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you. The way I like to start the show normally is with a scenario. I didn't brief you on this, so this will be fun. Here you go. So you're walking through your neighborhood. A little kid comes up to you and says, "Marianne, you're my hero. How can I be like you when I grow up?" So in the language that a 10 or 12-year-old can understand, what does it take to be Marianne Ganem Poppell?
Wow. So I will say, I always tell people nothing comes easy, and you have to work for what you get. My oldest son, I have 3 little boys. My oldest son is 11, and luckily I am his hero right now. He thinks I am like the coolest thing because he's very techie, and he thinks it's really cool that we have our own website and app and YouTube channel.
Awesome.
But I would definitely say hard work and always about how you treat people. It comes back to you tenfold. So, always be kind to people, always do things out of the goodness of your heart, do things for the right reason, and work for it. Know your goals, set your goals, know what you want to do, and find a path. You write it down and you can get there. And it may not be exactly what you envision, but I think in some form or fashion, you will be successful.
Yeah. Awesome. Beautiful. I will say that when I first, so I am new to Savannah, 2 years.
Wow.
And when I first moved here, I was looking for events and entrepreneurial events to join and go to, and Savannah Master Calendar is the first thing that popped up.
Yay.
And I was like, wow, like this is like a very impressive, unique niche business, because like you guys are doing really well just with the calendar and connecting people with events. And it just always blew my mind that if you have an idea, if you have a purpose, then you can make magic happen.
Yeah. And it was my business partner, Scott West. I mean, it was kind of all his vision, and he did it as a ministry, really. But that's what we're about. It's all about linking people in businesses and linking businesses in charities. But because we're such an event-oriented city, there was nothing that said, hey, this is where all the events are. So to help avoid conflicts, because we are also a very generous city. I mean, we have so many charities, and there's no sense in everybody stepping on each other's toes. And, I'd rather see everyone work together. Right.
And that's what I've learned too. Like Savannah is a very generous city. I don't know if that's different in every city. In Chicago, and then another thing is like maybe I just wasn't plugged into the community like I am now. But Savannah is very. Why do you think Savannah is so generous?
I don't know. It's a good question because, when you look at different statistics, it looks like there's more poverty in Savannah, which is interesting. There's a lot of lower income families, but those families still give. Yeah. I don't know what the reasoning is. Savannah, in general, just the city itself has a big heart. I've heard stories of people coming from other cities that are either homeless or need something, and they will get a one-way ticket, a bus ticket, and come to Savannah because they've heard that people here will help them.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's kind of just the Savannah way, Savannah nature.
It is. It is. Awesome. All right, so let's take a step back. Are you from Savannah?
I am born and raised.
Born and raised.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. My family has a business here. I'm 3rd generation in that business.
What? Do you mind if I ask what business that is?
Johnny Ganem's Wine and Package Shop.
Okay.
76 years this year,
awesome.
This June. My grandparents started it actually as a restaurant, and it always had a package. It was a steak ranch. and it always had a package store with it. And now we do full service bar catering, plus the liquor store. We have the Southeast only temperature controlled wine cellar, which is really cool.
Nice.
So, yeah, I was born and raised in that business, and swore I would never come back to Savannah after college.
Where'd you go to
Jokes
college?
on me. Valdosta State.
Okay.
So I was gonna, just continue to fly on, and came back, and I was like, the city's really kind of cool. It's really pretty, and started appreciating it.
Yeah.
And I worked in fashion retail for a while until I decided to work full time in the family business. And then as I got more involved with the calendar, really saw something that could grow in Savannah that Savannah really needed.
Yeah. Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Now, you support the Jaycees a lot as well.
I do.
Are you a former JC?
I am a current JC.
Current JC.
I just had my 40th birthday, but they haven't kicked me out yet. Yes, so I've been very active. As a matter of fact, when I came home from college, I was approached by the Jaycees, and I was like, no, I'm not going to get involved because I'm not staying in Savannah.
Right.
But then the more involved I got, I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to the Jaycees. And that has been an incredible experience for me, just helping me professionally. I didn't say I couldn't, but I didn't enjoy talking in front of people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's helped me professionally with relationships and with behaviors and just so much, and personal.
Right.
I mean, I think that organization is so amazing to help young people grow. Even what you discover yourself, not even that they, teach you per se, but you just discover about yourself being part of that organization.
Right. I totally agree. I clearly just joined, and I have been just kind of blown away by the relationships and just the history of it, and how they just had their 76th, and along with your family's business. So I wonder if there's something there 76 years ago, something big was happening in Savannah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the Jaycees used to meet at Johnny Ganem's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, a big correlation. But I'm huge into the history in Savannah with these groups and businesses, organizations. But again, bringing that history into current here and now. You have to be relevant. You have to know what's going on. But that history is so important about who we are, who we were, where we came from, and where we're going.
Right.
So I think it's really cool to be part of these organizations that are so old in Savannah.
I agree. Especially learning your history. I mean, because there are things that have been, and that's the cool thing about the Jaycees too, is that they keep a record of everything they've done in the past.
Yes.
So you can at least see if somebody's had an idea to help Savannah that you can kind of add to or change or bring back.
Yeah.
And I think that's the cool thing about being a part of the Jaycees.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So if you're out there, you're between 21 and 40, and you want to join a young professional organization in Savannah, or really anywhere in America or the world.
It's a national organization.
Yeah.
International, actually.
That's right. Yeah. So I would suggest looking up the Savannah Jaycees to give them a little plug.
I agree.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So it's a business show. So what is your role as president, and where do you see Savannah Master Calendar going?
So as president, I run the entire Savannah Master Calendar shindig. So what we do is we publish a weekly newsletter that goes out every Monday to 26,000 people locally. That's going to be all your high net worth business execs, charity execs, politicians. And what we do is we search through over really 100 calendars. We compile everything into our website, but then we go and pick out the top picks. So we have a spreadsheet of the 32 reoccurring monthly events of the business organizations. We've created the top 200 annual events. So those are the annual big events that happen, rain or shine, every year. And those are on our calendar. So we go through and pick out, hey, this week, if you're in business, if you want to see your business grow, if you want your network to grow, even socially, this is where we suggest you should be. We suggest you bring 100 business cards, any information that you can pass out that's going to grow your business. This is where you should be. This is how you should do it. And then we have some VIP invitations that are usually in our newsletter. We host corporate grand openings and anniversary celebrations. So we like to try to get as many community involved people there as possible to support these local businesses. So we send out that newsletter. We have our website, which has thousands and thousands and thousands of events on it that you can go through yourself and see where you want to go, as well as just a ton of free information for the community, and it's constantly growing. And that's all brought by our corporate partners that help bring the Savannah Master Calendar, and then running the event. So our corporate partners host a monthly networking charity event. Okay. So on the 4th Tuesday of every month, we host an event. We pick a different charity every single month. So we get every bit of the money that we raise goes to the charity. So It's really cool.
Awesome.
And then we do the corporate grand opening and anniversary, and everything we do is always tied in with the charity.
Gotcha.
There's a number of reasons. I mean, it's good karma, but there's no reason that if you're doing a big community event that you can't help there's so many cool nonprofits here to link up with, and it makes people feel good. It's a great way to interact, to get the businesses linked with the different charities.
Right.
So I run all of that. I see us. I mean, we're just constantly growing. I mean, in the last couple of years, our database has grown close to 10,000 people.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's constantly networking, meeting people.
Having your postcards everywhere.
Yes. We always have a stack of postcards with us. We are all about inviting to parties. And I see us growing, and I mean, tourism is huge in Savannah, but I don't ever want to lose sight of that local business, especially the small businesses. I don't ever want to lose sight that that's what we do. We help those small businesses and we help the charities.
Right. Beautiful. Have you ever thought about going to another city?
We've talked about it for a couple of years, but every time I think we have a handle here that some other aspect, grows, or we're so busy. But, I would love to see it grow into other cities, bigger cities that need that master calendar and to help people build their network.
Right. Yeah, because I know when we first, it was a huge help for me here, because I think through that I learned about the Creative Coast, and then the contact at Creative Coast led me to Geek In, and Geek In led me to having a radio show here. So a lot of it comes from just like finding the Savannah Master Calendar first.
Yeah.
And like when I moved, we lived in Chicago and Charlotte, and there was nothing like this that I know of that was updated and that was as broad and as well done as you guys do it.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. It's so much work, and I think a lot of people don't think. They're like, "Oh, it's just a calendar, it's events." And we've had people try to do it, and or it's just a party. You're just putting on an event. Right. Great. So I just smile and nod. I'm like, okay. But I enjoy it, and obviously what we get back from it every day is people like you. Anybody to hear that we've helped anyone is the biggest compliment we could get.
Good. You deserve more compliments, because you guys are doing good. I think it's pretty awesome, because it's a simple idea, but you guys are taking it to like just a whole other level.
Yeah.
That's why people think they could do it too, but they could.
Right. It's a lot of work. I just say, we'll sleep when we're dead. Sleep is overrated.
Okay. All right. So, why do you think? What's another good question I could ask there? Why stay in Savannah? I mean, you have family here, but you could probably go somewhere else. Why stay in Savannah?
I love Savannah.
Yeah.
It's funny, even my husband always tries to get me, we love to vacation, but like you have the history here is incredible. And I'm not even a history buff, but I think it's cool. You have the beach.
Yep.
You have the South Side. I mean, you have shopping. The restaurants are incredible. And again, the people, there's something about Savannah. And I think people that come here, I always hear it. I never understood it before. They would say, there's just something about Savannah. She draws you in. And it is the people here, of course, like anywhere you have your cliques, or, you have some times where there's some cattiness or whatever, you're like, ugh, I just want to get out. But I mean, this city has so much to offer. And I think I've heard people say like, oh, Savannah's behind the times, or Savannah's slow, Slow-vanna. But it only offers us opportunities.
Right.
It's only going to get better. It's only going to grow. I don't think I would choose any other place to live or work other than Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. We are going to take a quick break. How can people find you and reach you and contact you?
They can find me on savannahmastercalendar.com, or they can always email info@savannahmastercalendar.com.
Right.
And that's calendar with an AR. We've had that mistake.
All right, cool. Okay, so guys, listen, don't go anywhere. We're going to put Marianne through the lightning round in just a minute when we come back. But for right now, we're going to take a quick break, tell you guys about some cool things coming up, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, and we're back once again with Miss Marianne Ganem Poppell,
Yes.
president of Savannah Master Calendar, all-around Savannian. Doesn't like to leave Savannah, but she's a lovely, the perfect example of Savannian, and she is also a member of the Savannah Jaycees, which is cool. But now we're going to put her through the lightning round.
Oh, dear. I'm a little scared. I'm shaking.
So it's really simple. It's just a bunch of random questions that I ask, and it kind of you can answer them as short as long as you want to. Some are motivational, some are just random.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. What did you want to be as a kid, and how does that relate to your current business?
I wanted to be famous, a famous actress. And I also wanted to be a beautician on the side.
Okay.
I had very high goals. But I think that it all came with being social. I always had a social problem. All of my report cards said I talked too much. So I guess that's where it relates. I'm just social. Anything I can do to work with people and help people, I'm in. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. I like that you had a plan B for your fame.
I did. Yeah. I was going to work my way through college.
Okay. Got you. All right. How have you approached failure in life?
Oh, I avoid it like the plague. No. I've learned from it, I think. I used to beat myself up if I didn't achieve a goal or do something that I had set for myself and said, I'm going to make this happen. But now I feel like every experience as a learning experience. It's an opportunity. Like, how would I do better? Also, negative people, which is hard when you come in contact with them. Your first instinct is to just be really frustrated and like, why are they mean? Why are they doing mean things towards other people or towards me? And I just use that as an example of really, God has put them here for me to learn that, either how to deal with them, how to take that in, how to deal with other people. So failure in general, I would say just use it as a learning experience.
Okay. So that said, tell us a story about a failure.
Oh, a failure. I guess failure. This is tough. Maybe being full-time in the family business. I think I had seen that's where my life was going to be once I stepped out of the fashion world and made the commitment to stay in Savannah and made the commitment I was coming here to only be in the family business. And, I had 3 sons. They're very young. It was really hard juggling work, professional life and family life, because my husband also works for his family business. So he works a lot. So I think it felt like a failure that I couldn't do it all. And when I stepped back, the goal was for me to not work, which didn't last, obviously. So I think it felt like a failure, but it was like, okay, I can do this. I can learn how to balance everything and make it all work and make, as long as I'm doing what I've committed to, I'm doing it well, then I can make it work. And so now the problem is the overcommitment, is trying not to overcommit, because I always wanted anything that I commit to, I want to do it well.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So what advice do you have for another entrepreneur out there who has a lot of balls and responsibilities they try to juggle. Like, what advice do you have for them?
The biggest thing I can say, and I struggle with it, is you have to work for it. And I think so many times it's so easy to say, if it's meant to be, it'll come. But you do have to work for it. And there's plenty of times where I am fully 1,000% exhausted because I'm trying to be a good wife. I'm trying to be a good mother. I've got a lot of balls in the air professionally. And plus the extra stuff that makes the professionalism work. I mean, it does take that networking, and that does seem like extra stuff that you say no to. But even though you have to take time for yourself and make it all work, there's such a short amount of time that I think you'll have to work that hard. So take those couple of years, and if it's something you believe in, do it. Go after it. But don't let other things sacrifice either. I would never tell my children that I can't go to their school. I will make it work no matter what. So, look for that light at the end of the tunnel and know that your life don't allow it to always be like this. Work really hard, get it to where you want it to be, and then
coast a little bit.
That's
awesome. And that's great advice. My wife's the same way. And we both have very busy schedules, and sometimes we call each other during the day to see how we can fit each other in. And then but even today, so my wife's giving a speech tonight at 5, but she also packed lunch and took the kids to school this morning when I could have, but she just wanted to. So it's so I understand. Is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, you do make your choices, but I wouldn't, if you don't do something that you really want to do, I wouldn't regret it, but figure out how you can make it better the next day or the next time. I'm not going to sit there and fret because I didn't get to spend as much time with the boys one day. I'm going to make it better the next day. We'll do something fun. And that it's tough, but I would definitely say, don't beat yourself up. Just figure out how you can make it better.
Awesome. Advice for new entrepreneurs.
Ooh, new entrepreneurs. Lots of caffeine. Writing everything down is huge. I think a lot of entrepreneurs have that spirit. Their minds probably go 90 miles a minute. There is so much in their head, and I am 1,000% guilty of this. I'll remember. But there's so many online tools to use where you can put all of your task lists and your ideas and keep it written down, whether it's online or you have one notebook that you keep it in. You've got to write it down because I think in order to achieve your goals, you have to write them down and make them come true, or either it's going to be an idea in your head that never comes to fruition.
Very true. Very true. And I learned that recently from the Jaycees, actually, because they always have a PMG. Anything you want to do, you have to put a PMG together. Project management guide for those out there listening. So that is that's something brilliant. Know what you want, know how to get there, and be realistic about it. Exactly. Exactly. How did you get your first client? Do you remember?
At Savannah Master Calendar. So Scott actually started this business 13 years ago. And it was just really as, his ministry. And when I came on and I told my husband I was going to be working 24/7, he was like, what? For free? So we sat down and wrote a business plan of who, what, when, where. And we basically, we already had a pretty large database. So we just started, we had a business plan of how we wanted to build our corporate clients. We wrote down, the type of clients we wanted. And we put an ad out there and we just said, hey, we're now taking corporate clients. And we had people call us. We had some that we, knew. For us, it's all about reputation. We've built our reputation. We try to do business with reputable people in Savannah. So they came to us. We were really, really fortunate.
Awesome.
Awesome.
What are you going to teach your children about entrepreneurship and business?
Or
what are you teaching them?
I feel like I teach them every day. They see how hard I work. They appreciate it, which I think is the coolest thing. I had that opportunity of growing up in a family business, which I think seeing that and seeing your parents work that hard for themselves and everything that is provided to you, they are working for. They're not working for somebody else. So that in itself, I think, gives you a different work ethic, core value instilled in you. But I will teach them that they have to work for it. I don't want them to ever think that anything is gifted or handed to them. Always have a plan, know your goals, and know how you're going to achieve them.
Well said. What's something you consume religiously? So it could be like a blog, a TV show, YouTube channel, podcast, food, just something you every week religiously you're watching it or reading it.
I don't. I have one of my clients actually sends out Bible verses every morning.
Oh, awesome.
It is the best thing. I have thoroughly enjoyed that. So I read those, and then there's always like a little description. That's a huge thing for me. The boys go to Sunday school every Sunday morning at 8:30 in the morning. And we go to church every Sunday, and then we talk about it. So they have to learn their prayers. And we have our nighttime routine of reading books, praying, talking about the day, and laying down. But I think that's so important too, to teach them that there's a higher being.
Yeah.
And that's, while we're all here, it gives them that strong core value.
That's awesome. Okay. All right, we'll start rounding up, so I'll just do a few more. Favorite book?
Favorite book. So my favorite author is Mary Kay Andrews.
Okay.
She is actually from Georgia, and I've had the opportunity to do her book launch the last several years in Savannah.
Oh, nice.
But before that, I was obsessed with her. She knows this. So. She writes like just fun beach novels.
Okay.
You don't have to think. They're incredible. So her new one is The High Tide Club, and I am about to start that. Savannah Blues. I'm trying to think of some of the other, but her books in general are my favorite books.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. There's a concept called the 80-20 principle, Pareto's principle. It basically says that 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. So at the Savannah Master Calendar, what are the small things you do on a daily basis that get you the most results?
Definitely kindness to others and the little things. I mean, we have people, my phone rings nonstop all day from about 7:45 in the morning until end of work day, and sometimes past. I am on the go, and there's so many times I could say, I don't have time for that, you know. Yeah. But I think those little things, there's a lot of people that could have done that to me.
That's true.
So I think building each one of those relationships, whether they come to anything professionally or personally, it's making sure that I'm kind to everyone I come in contact with.
Yeah. Is there a quote that's always been a mantra that you live by?
So I have two favorite quotes. I don't know if it's necessarily a mantra, but these were on my grandmother's refrigerator growing up. And they're the two things that have always stuck in my head. One thing is keep smiling. It makes people wonder what you're up to. So I've always had that in my head. And the other one is everything has its beauty, just not everyone sees it. So I think everything in life, there's something good to come out of it. There's some beauty in it. And there's no reason to focus on the negative. There's something positive in everything. Yeah. I'd rather focus on that.
Very true. Beautiful. Okay. Last one. If you had a superpower or ability, what would you choose and why?
Oh, a superpower, a zapper. I'd like to wrinkle my nose and make wishes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Bewitched.
Bewitched. Yeah. I don't know if that's necessarily a superpower, but
Close
okay.
enough.
Yeah. And I would just love for everybody to be happy. I would love, maybe it sounds silly, but like no poverty, just everybody to have what they need, not necessarily what they want, but what they need. Everyone's needs taken care of, and to be able to do in some aspect what they enjoy. We all have to work, but for people to be able to have some kind of enjoyment in life.
I agree wholeheartedly. It doesn't make sense that people are hungry and homeless. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
As rich as America is, it doesn't.
No, and as
I
much
think about
money
that a
as we
lot.
borrow for other countries, like,
Right. Right.
can we please just,
Yeah.
and there's so many people that live, and I understand working hard and you deserve nice things or things that you want, but there is no reason for people to be completely homeless, hungry, or children dying.
Right. Wholeheartedly agree. Okay. Marianne, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I'm glad you were able to make it. I'm glad we were finally able to do this.
Me too.
Yeah, so cool.
Anytime.
So once again, how can people find you, reach out to you?
They can find us on savannahmastercalendar.com. You can email me at info@savannahmastercalendar.com, or I'm going to be really brave here. You can always call me 912-224-4869.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening as always. Once again, it's Taraz, host of the Savannah Business Showcase. And as always, be the change you want to see in the world. Go out there and do something impactful. You don't have to have $1 million to change the world. You can just go down the street, tell a neighbor that you love them, and do something good. So I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week. All right. Goodbye.